correct me, go ahead. So it says hit the iron while it's still hot.
Yes, strike when the iron is hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that right now Falcons on their like winning. I'm not gonna say winning streak because it's like a first match, but it is a sweep. So I think that today, after like seeing or like having that boost of confidence yesterday, they should pull off a really good performance. Nightmare should also have pride on like taking or like making things not look really good to SMG, which was I think it's most expected to be one of the strongest teams we have here in the wild card.
So the teams do have to play around momentum, and Yasu definitely making a bit of a statement there. We'll see how true that becomes, but I think Team Falcons are definitely going in that direction, right? They have the momentum from a 2-0 sweep yesterday. So you're gonna give Goodnight one of his signature heroes right off the bat. The Fairness is gonna be coming out along with the Matilda, and we saw this exact combo do scary things in the hands of Team Lilga.
There's just so much protection, so much sustain available. So in a big team fight, technically, right, the balance really just favors Team Falcon with this lineup. For a while now, we're going to wait until we can see what Team Nightmare has picked up. And if they can do so, oh, it's the Arlet and the Fredrin, it does seem. So a lot more crowd control heavy. And with the Fredrin, that means that the jungle is also very, very strong. It can really swing both ways with the sustain and the damage.
Yep, I'm not too sure if the graphics are updating here, but just to confirm with you guys, Nightmare has drafted the Arlet and the Fredrin, and Falcons just concluded their first phase with the Yuzong pick. So responding here, there's gonna be quite a lot of dueling in that EXP lane if this Arlet does go in that direction. But I like the pick. The final slash really messes with the Netherrealm.
After seeing that that one is the first pick for Team Nightmare, I was actually like kind of expecting to see a suppression here. I was kind of waiting to see a Kaja or maybe a Franco to stop that one, because Team Nightmare should be so confident to just like take 1-1 as a first pick.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, right now, we can't really confirm the bands that have been selected right here. But we can make a bit of an assumption, technically. Because for a Falcon, right?
I think it's Angela, and on the other side, there is Akai for Team
well, we'll see.
Nightmare.
But again, for now, with the Faramis and the Matilda and the Yuzong, you expect some kind of damage output hero, because otherwise, all this protection will be for nothing, right? The Netherrealm and the Guiding Wind is meant to be used to protect someone. So I think a big carry is going to be available.
We're back.
Okay, we're back in action here. The graphics have been updated. Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you for being patient with us. So the Angela and Minotaur were banned out by Team Falcons. Akai banned out by Nightmare Esports. And it's interesting they would go with the Akai, because usually you would consider that as the counter to like the Faramis, for example. But since they are going with the Arlet Fredrin, this hero would be a threat in terms of that heavy spin during these team fights. So both sides do seem to be focusing around the fighting potential of their overall lineup.
Oh, they banned away a Brody, by the way, Nightmare.
Yeah.
I feel like the Brody will be, it's a bit of a shame to use all this protection for a Brody that's already kind of self-sufficient. I thought something with a higher damage output, like a carry or something, would make sense, but now with a Martis even, it's going to be rounding out the resets, the extra bit of damage they require. Nightmare, I feel like they can just go for a split push. If they want to bank on a team fight here, it's going to be so difficult.
Well, they want to let Lotrick to analyze the enemy fully, because they don't want to take that marksman, they don't want to take that gold lane just yet, just to know if maybe they will go with the carry and they will have like that true damage upon such heavy heroes from Team Nightmare. And so far there are heavy heroes, but maybe they will add some more, because Arlet can be an XB lane, but also he has proven efficiency in terms of the roam. So maybe you'll see a carry. I was actually gonna say I expect a Bruno.
Let's go!
There he goes. There he goes. You got your
I
Tigreal.
get to cast this again. This is nice. You got the Tigreal and the Valentina, so that Nether Realm is gonna get stolen away depending on how Soul is feeling. Even the Black Dragon Form and Decimate are pretty good overall.
Wow.
The team fight for Nightmare, pretty powerful, but with another tanky hero, carry is looking more likely. If not, then maybe the Ixia?
Something long range maybe as well. Ixia comes to mind, but so does maybe. I guess the carry really gets up there, but
I think the carry is most likely. Or
do they want to pull
oh
out
wait,
Leslie?
actually Lotrick is one of those who play Beatrix really good. Oh, the carry makes more, makes more sense.
I was thinking that Irithel has potential right here. It's a bit of a counter to the 1-1. And you know, if you're secure with the healing and the mobility, and you can hit while moving, you can just cut down on the defensive items and just go all in on the damage. But it's gonna be the carry. But there's a lot of ways to deal with this. Part of why the Tigreal, I think, is underrated is the fact that during the whole combo, when you're getting hit with the Sacred Hammer, dragged away sideways, you can't really move either, right? So it's a bit of a delayed crowd control tool. And if they can stop the Fire Mist from casting the Nether Realm, for instance, that could be fatal.
Yeah, a lot of people think that like Divine Judgment and Body Hunt are the big single target stuns, but you kind of forget how long the Implosion Sacred Hammer combo actually is, and that's AoE as well. So we'll figure out whether or not it works this time. I'm hoping and praying, but we're jumping back into the land of Dawn. Will the Falcons control the skies, or will their nightmares drag them down to the ground? We'll find out in game number 1 of our second series. And it does look like we're going to jump into a pause real quick to make sure the players are able to perform at full potential.
Well, I think that the formation of Team Nightmare is quite paralyzing. There's tons of crowd control there. You have the Tigreal, you have also the Fredron, you can consider his crowd control tons, and you have the Arlot. What else is there? Is there like any crowd control? Yeah, there's the Horrifying from the Valentina, the second. It's like, it's full of, it has tons of crowd control.
And that's, I think, the idea, right? I thought they were just going to go full crowd control and duke it out against a Faramis Mathilda. But with the Valentina, that just changes things. And I think that now the big focus becomes the Faramis, right? In the hands of Goodnight. If he can just hide away and ensure that the Netherrealm does not get stolen right here, that could immediately tip the balance in favor of Falcons. But otherwise, there's just way too much crowd control here to really be able to fight comfortably for the side of Falcon. Because not to mention, there's only one Purify in the hands of the carry, so everyone else, I believe including the Faramis, no Purify, which means he can get comboed and locked down. That might be a mistake, dude.
I think what's going to be the most interesting about this match is that, like you mentioned, Nightmare has a lot of hard CC, and on the opposite side, Falcons have a good amount of utility with that Faramis Matilda. So it's a little bit of a battle between that crowd control, as well as how well Falcons are able to use their tools to be able to play around their opponents. But it's true that's very difficult here. Nightmare Esports, in terms of micro mechanics, certainly didn't seem to quite match up to Falcons based on their performance yesterday. But when you have a good hero lineup, a lot of that can be made up for.
Well, the sustainability that Team Falcons have is quite, like, it is remarkable. You have that Matilda, you have also the Faramis. You can extend the team fights for a very long time. But what I also kind of notice is that they have reached to the backline with also the Yuzong. They have really good damage output when you reach the late game with the carry. So at a certain point, I think that also Team Falcons have a really good draft in their own way. So yeah, Team Nightmare have that tremendous amount of crowd control on their side, but drafting wise, I would actually lean toward Team Falcon.
I think I have the exact opposite opinion, man. I think everyone who knows me knows that I do stay tactical, but I also like crowd control. I always say that crowd control is the key. The team with the crowd control dictates how the fights happen, right? Where it happens and when it happens. So I feel like in that sense, it's going to be a lot easier for Nightmare to, let's say, set up for an objective and then punish when Falcons are out of position. Whereas the exact opposite isn't exactly true. The only real way they can engage is with a Black Dragon form, a Petrify Furious Dive combo maybe, or with the Circling Eagle. But if they do that, they also remove a lot of ways for them to counter the players of Nightmare. So that's where I stand on the drafts.
I also have a bias towards crowd control. CC is
biased towards the Tigreal.
Fun.
We know it,
Tigreal.
You lion.
But I also predicted Falcons. So I don't know why these teams keep doing this to me, this sort of situation. I feel like there's a vendetta against me on the desk right now. Hopefully that's not the case.
The conspiracy theory.
But it's true. While it's true that there's a lot of crowd control on the Nightmare side, there's also a certain degree of difficulty to the execution, especially like Tigreal really depends on that flicker to set up the implosion combo. And if Falcons can out-micro them, like you can pull people out of stuns with the Guiding Winds, the Nether Realm, the Black Dragon form just comes into the back line and suddenly the CC has to go in a different direction. So there's a lot of stuff to consider.
That's where you forgot, dude. They have an Arlet. If they final slash everyone
That's
in position,
also fair.
they can immediately go with a Sacred Hammer and then Implosion combo. With an Arlet and a Fredrin, they can both stay in the front and take some damage in that back and forth situation.
So you're actually saying that Team Falcon will be paralyzed?
I think so. I mean, it's hard to imagine that none of these crowd control tools are gonna land, especially with only one Purify. We have an M-Series fact right here though, a decline in the Appraiser's worth. Fredrin, the most picked hero of M4, has finally been picked after 13 games on the wildcard stage.
It feels kind of unbelievable. You would think that Fredrin had showed up at some point, but the fact that this is his first appearance, the entire wildcard is insane. The hero really has dropped off a little bit in terms of his overall value during the drafting phase. And while I myself am a Fredrin player, I am kind of glad because we have seen a little bit too much of this man.
Too much of that characteristic undercut.
He had an era for himself.
Absolutely,
Yes.
man. Always pick or ban, and at some point he was able to be flexed to the EXP as well as the jungle, in the mid lane as well sometimes, and I think at one point even the roam position, but that's a long while back.
Yeah.
But it's so flexible. It's built-in sustain, damage, and crowd control, right? It's just a good all-rounder. But I do believe that in the current meta, despite the rise of assassins and the like, the Fredrin is still solid, but I think a lot of teams are just trying to hide it, dude. I suspect that in M5, over in the Philippines, we might just see a bit more of these.
Really? Again?
More Fredrins.
Are we, like, I don't know. Like, even as a Fredrin player, I do feel like the heroes just had a bit too much time in the spotlight. Like, how do you feel about Fredrin?
Well, look, as I told you, at some point, that professional player, if you remember the topic that we talked about in the last match, told me it's about perfecting. It was actually at the Fredrin era, at the utility heroes era, that those like tanky heroes who can go in just to secure that objective, or like neutral objective. So, Fredrin getting picked again, it will need that era to come back, the utility heroes era. But right now we have the assassins, we have the even like marksmen, we have Yusun Shin today. We have fighters, we have everything.
I think the marksmen are a bit more of an exception, right?
Yeah,
Well,
it was a Yusun Shin.
Here's the thing, Yasu. When there are a lot of marksmen and assassins in the jungle, what becomes good in the jungle?
Tanks.
Tanks, fighters.
That's
That's part of why I think it's gonna make a comeback, man. With so many slippery heroes like the Nolan, there's gonna be so many like flexible teams that they can pick. They can let the Nolan go through in the banning phase, and then they can punish it using heroes like the Fredrin.
I would actually hate that to happen. I hated the tanky junglers meta.
Same, I'm gonna be honest. It's just, like, yes, it's effective, but it's also not the most fun to watch, you know? We wanna be entertained when we're in the Land of Dawn,
True,
especially watching these tournaments, you know? And just seeing this big beefy guy walk around killing creatures in the jungle, maybe coming out of his cave once in a while to do something, it's not the most riveting experience.
I mean, earlier we saw a bunch of Baxias come in. Of course, as an exception, we did see the Yusun Shin as well, but generally there's still a lot of fighters left in the jungle right now.
Yeah, Leomord, Roger.
Leomord, yeah. I forgot about that.
That's true. Do we want to
Alpha.
remember that?
Alpha just came.
What else? Is there any other interesting jungle heroes that we've yet to see?
Interesting jungle heroes we've yet to see?
Yeah, yet to see.
Paquito.
Ooh. Paquito in the
Actually,
jungle,
we haven't yet, right?
not in recent times. We saw
Okay.
Paquito in the EXP lane earlier.
Yeah.
But it used to be able to be flexed in the same way like the Fredrin, right? EXP, jungle, mid, and roam. Just like unreal. In fact, even further back, the Paquito was able to be used in the gold lane as well.
Yeah.
that was a
That's
thing.
a long time ago.
That was a fun time though.
You know,
love memory lane.
you know, actually, this is a bad memory for me because
Is it?
it was used against Mina.
Not the best time, especially if you have to play against it. But hey, it does add to the experience, makes things a little more interesting to watch. For now, though, it does look like we're gonna take a moment to make sure that everything on the stage is going properly. We gotta make sure that competitive integrity is maintained, that if the players are having any issues with their devices or their connection or so on, that we are going to fix it. No worries, the marshals are already on it. For now, though, let's open up the conversation a little bit. We are now nearly halfway through the wildcard group stage. Are the teams you predicted going to M5 in the beginning still the same now?
Wow, that's a good question.
I'll be real with you, I don't quite remember. I might need a break.
You don't remember? Okay, then just to give you a little bit more time to like gather your thoughts, we're gonna go on a short break, of course, to make sure that the players are in a good state as well. Make sure you guys don't go anywhere, but if you want to grab a snack, go to the bathroom, this is the time to do it. When we come back, Nightmare Esports will face off against Team Falcons in the Land of Dawn. We will see you guys there.
Hit me like I might get over, but you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback, ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders, yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You could keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor. Nah, 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 I feel like the floor is lava, the energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I do, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. We are fun, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great. Can't get it great, I'm better than great. I play my own role, I become the greatest. Transcend myself into this game, yeah. I build a power to dominate fate. Championship mind, no time for the weak. We start to the game, shine, reveal. Better than great, that's how we feel. I feel like the floor is lava, the energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I do, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. We are fun, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great. If we stand tall and believe, we can make it, you and me. With a sense of urgency, you'll see I'm better than great. I'm better than great. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm better than. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. We are fun, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great. Hit me like I might get over, but you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback, ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders, yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You could keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor. Nah, 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 I feel like the floor is lava, the energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I love, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. We are fun, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great.
Can't get it great, I'm better than great. I play my own role, I become the greatest. Transcend myself into this game, yeah. I build a power to dominate fate. Championship mind on top of the week. What's up to the game? Shall reveal. Better than great, that's how we feel.
I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I love, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. Play our part, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great. If we stand tall and believe we can make it, you and me, with a sense of urgency, you'll see I'm better than great. I'm better than great. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm better than. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. Play our part, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great.
Yeah. Hit me like I might get over, but you can give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback. Ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You can keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor.
Na-na-na, I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I love, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. Play our part, nothing gon' change. Great, we are better than great.
Can't get it great, I'm better than great. I play my own role, I become the greatest. Transcend myself into this game, yeah. I build
like I might get over. But you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback. Ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You could keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor. Nah, nah, nah. I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms. 'Cause I know just what I got. I got you like na na na. And you know I hold the power. This feeling I love. Oh yeah. Making my grind good to great. So don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We stand tall, won't run away. We are fun, nothing gon' change. Great. We are better than great. Can't get it great. I'm better than great. I play my own role. I be kinda greatest. Transcend myself into this game, yeah. I build a power to dominate fate. Championship mind on top of the week. What's up to the game? Shall reveal. Better than great. That's how we feel. I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms. 'Cause I know just what I got. I got you like na na na. And you know I hold the power. This feeling I love. Oh yeah. Making my grind.
Ladies and gentlemen, look alive! The M5 World Championships wildcard stage has returned to your screens. Thank you very much for being patient with us, but we are back. And thank you very much for joining us once again. My name is Stafa, alongside Arashi and Yasu once again. For those of you who are just joining us now, we're about to enter our second best of 3 series of the day. It is going to be Team Falcons versus Nightmare Esports. Now, we already talked a lot of stuff. I hope you guys still remember the draft, because I'm about to quiz you now. Who are you predicting is going to win game 1, starting with Arashi?
Yo, man, card control is the key. Every single time I keep saying that again and again. I think the exception would be when there's a lot of movement, right? We can just move around and maneuver, maybe go for a bit of a split push. But I gotta say, I side with Nightmare Esports on this one.
Ooh.
Dodo.
Really?
He's not Dafa, he's Dodo.
Dodo got the mascot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here. He's on the wildcard stage. You guys thought he wouldn't be here, but he's here.
He made it.
He's always on broadcast?
Yeah, he is. He's just sitting there. Shall I just leave him
Dang.
like this so that his head pops out?
Yeah.
Like a stalker.
You guys know he's stalking the camera. But
Maybe because he's with you today, maybe you'll get your predictions right.
ooh, that's true. I already got the first one right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because but he was here yesterday too.
No one saw him yesterday. You could have just let
It's
it
true.
go.
He didn't
you know?
appear on camera.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he has to be on camera, you know?
Maybe
That's
this is your
true,
lucky
huh?
charm.
Lucky Charms.
Oh, you're right. This is the
Yeah.
lucky charm.
It's all about the Lucky Charms, man. Even in the previous match, the Lucky Charms is losing in the first game. We'll see if a repeat kind of
Honestly, I
happens.
should have
right
brought
now.
him out yesterday.
You lost in the first day.
That's true. But I feel like I should have brought him out yesterday because
Could've.
all of us were dressed in like purple and black yesterday. And
Yeah, you mean
same-
Gideon.
Yeah, I missed,
Shout out Gideon Q.
I missed out on an opportunity. Yeah. But
Well,
either way, so Nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one here. Do you agree?
Do I agree with the crowd control? Yeah, I know that it's so annoying. I know that it's really good to have crowd control.
But
Look, I want to say something that also looks really good. Look at this close-up shot. Again. Come close.
whoa.
You'll
It's
see
a-
that.
he's
yeah, you'll see
demanding
that.
closeness
You'll
from
see
the
my
camera.
frame. You'll see my frame having that Yuzong skin here. It like looks so really good. But let's go back to the topic.
Move the figure. Move.
Yeah, actually,
There you go.
I don't want to. I don't want to mess with it. So the crowd control is really annoying. The crowd control is really good. But Falcons team, if they execute it, yeah. See, it looks like the close
It's like
shot
you're a
looks
figure
really
salesman,
good.
dude. You're like, look at this right here.
Yeah,
This is quality.
yes.
But you
this
can
is
actually
quality.
get this with the M5 pass in game.
Ooh, the transition
Ah,
though.
Yeah.
yeah. See?
Like when you like lit better than great slide into your sentence. It's the same feeling.
Into your DMs.
Yeah, it's like
Nice.
here you can get also the M5 pass. You can have a chance to this. Yeah.
Sure
I
can.
like what you can do. There.
Anyways, back to the game.
Back to the game.
Take it
to the
away,
game.
Dodo man.
So, wait, which team did you predict? Did you answer
Falcon.
that?
I said
You did
Falcon.
fa-
Falcon 2 to
He's
1.
biased.
No, 2 to 1.
Just kidding.
Maybe I kept some information from yesterday. Maybe.
Oh,
Get some insider information.
Maybe.
Can we get some of that insider information later? I hope so. But for now, we're gonna be jumping into the land of Dawn. Thank you very much for being patient with us, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Nightmare Esports on the blue side. We got Team Falcons on the red side, and it already begins. Hulk taking some abuse here.
Yeah, he needed to go back, and I think if Joviana is wanting to commit to that.
well, that's a lot of damage. The Soso now taking the aggression. The Terrifier is going to be enough. But that's a T-Wheel, man. Level 1 and 2. It's actually quite underrated how much crowd control and how long it actually lasts. For now, though, with a Mathilda in the picture, it will be unlikely for him to get anything too meaningful. In the mid lane, I feel like Goodnight now has a bit more control to play with here with Super.
Jasmine.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. No. See, he's stealing you. No.
Yep. No. We thought it might happen. He might get the Sacred Hammer, but it was Goodnight who actually pulled him back instead. As of right now, a good amount of skirmishing happening on both sides. Lexi actually being able to retrieve that gold crab away as well from Leo. But neither team looking to totally commit. They're probably waiting for that turtle timing.
They might be waiting for the level 4 as well, but look at this trap.
Oh, maybe we should not wait until the turtle time. But at the bot lane, oh, Hulk is still surviving. But first blood drawn by Joviana.
That was close. For a moment, it looked like he might get out, but
Oh, we didn't. Aha! It's a 1-to-1 trade, but it was almost there. A clean kill for Super.
But now with Mathilda, it's going to be a jungle fight. And too easy for Lexi. In this situation, has a bit more to work with.
Well, Tiger is not yet level 4, but he does have that bush with the second skill. He can keep Leo away, and also Jovian can make that work and make that happen. Leo goes back. Goodnight Spurs to use his ultimate, and the turtle goes to the favor of Team Nightmare.
In terms of long-term investment, Falcons did win by getting the kill onto Cammy, but in short term, they needed the Mathilda for that turtle. Wow.
Oh, slashing him apart. Slashing him apart. Like, Arashi, is it like normal for an Arlot to win against a Yuzong in the lane?
It's a Yuzong, and it depends on how long the trade goes. If the Yuzong can get those stacks up, the Sha energy stacks, it's going to be a bit more difficult because he gets more damage and he gets more sustain. But initially, especially when at level 1, and Joviana on this Arlot just going all in aggressive. And so far, for Team Falcons, they're just not matching the fighter damage potential because fighters' strong suit is the early to mid game. And Cammy, even though he gets taken out, he did get a kill. So it's a bit of a win-lose kind of.
Yeah, that does even out overall a little bit. In the bottom, Leo securing the gold crab once again. We can see in terms of the emblems, once again, a good amount of movement going to be prioritized on both teams here. Actually, there's going to be quite a lot of quantum charges as well.
They want a movement speed. They want a bit of extra sustain as well. The two members with the... Oh, hang on.
Oh, Goodnight was almost there.
Very close.
Goodnight was almost like close to say Goodnight himself.
Yeah, but with the point, the ones with the quantum charge also have the Festival of Blood, so it's a bit more of a sustain tool, more so than a utility tool, I think. But for now, it's still going to be a waiting game, and I feel like in this situation, it's going to be a Nightmare that wants to try and get something done.
They are just like, you know, like fighting behind that turret, and he is able to do so, because so far, Arlot is dominating his lane.
Well, we can see a too easy for Lexi going in.
Oh, he is trying to commit to it. He will get that kill. Low trick into deep trigger anything. No, he is still alive. He is alive with a miracle. Jasmine is out. He is out by the hands of Goodnight. Too easy for Lexi. Is it too easy for Lexi? Let's see together. Will Kami commit? No, he will not commit. Goodnight goes back, and Team Falcons gets a kill, but I think that they potentially lost that turret.
That right there is the dictionary definition of greed. Jasmine thought the kill was secured for sure, so he held on to that implosion and then used it too late. And by that time, Super had already pulled his gold laner out of danger.
Joviana,
he just stands
with the
there.
standstill before the flicker, just making a statement. At the bottom side, though, Jasmine is try and deter Logic from getting too much gold tower gold.
He have to pull back. He have to pull back.
And he get it.
No, it's so hard.
think
Oh,
so.
Jasmine, does he have a flicker? He does have
Oh,
a flicker.
Soul's here too,
Oh,
dude.
he doesn't need to even use that flicker. The final slash coming smoothly by Joviana.
That's a bit of overkill, man. Even the Nether Realm popped out there. That is crazy.
Yeah, that
That's
felt
crazy.
kind of unnecessary. Yes, Jasmine wouldn't have been able to catch that himself, so we did see Juviana there, but the Nether Realm especially was not needed there. I'm pretty sure they would have survived that dive, but I don't think they're going to be doing too much in the next few seconds anyway, so I guess it's a pretty good trade there for Nightmare Esports.
I feel like Nightmare now, having a bit of a lead in the gold lane, sort of, they should really try and look for the jungler right here. They have what it takes to really shut down Leo in the jungle, and if they can do that, then there's no real early game power pick for Team Falcons to play around with.
But the map looks like a mirror to me because while Team Nightmare is focusing on that top lane, Team Falcons is focusing on the bot lane, and Super manages to make Joviana away, and the turret is exchanged by Team Falcons.
Making sure they're able to get the tier 1s in the EXP lanes respectively, but a mid lane fight.
Oh, look at that ultimate flicker coming here. We can see here that 1-1 will use her ultimate. She couldn't commit to it because there was no time, and the final slash coming, taking Lotric away, taking away the marksman out of the calculations.
Man, even with the fact that the Oasis there are still a massive fight, and now it's still not over.
Oh yeah, it's not over because slash after slash after slash, it needs a final slash, but that final slash is beating here by Leo, getting that kill on Too Easy for Lexi.
Yeah, like too easy for Lexi. Definitely overstayed his welcome there. His team did very well in that fight. That's the strength for all the crowd control that they have. But he could have just walked away. It really wasn't likely that they were going to be able to get another kill. But at least they're able to give Canvey that tier 1 down bottom and slowly start snowballing on this 1-1.
That is a big problem later on, especially for Cammy. The Nether Realm is a bit of a good counter against the crossbow of Tang, but later on it's still going to be a lot of damage, and Leo here almost gets caught out. He's going to be zoned away, man. Look at how much response is used to just tell Leo, like, yo, get away from the turtle, bro.
This turtle.
And I'm obviously against that.
Yeah, this turtle does not belong to them anymore. That's going to go over to Too Easy for Lexi, brought to you by Republic of Gamers. As of right now, Nightmare Esports still going to be maintaining a 1.8k net worth lead, but honestly, it's not all that much. And if Team Falcons can continue buying time for Lotric, their late game can be pretty good.
Yeah, Kami's in a really bad position. The Black Dragon formation here, and we can see that Jasmine is in a really bad place, but who is really in a bad place is that Team Falcon now cannot, well, they can, they already can take that damage, and they also take that double kill. Leo is there, and Team Falcons with the double kill.
Very well played right there. Going for Jasmine instead of Cammy, and they were actually able to bait him in. Oh, Juviana?
Yeah, he's taking now some of his own medicine. He's now facing the slashes of that Martian, and will it be a final slash? A final slash is there by Joviana, but the ultimate should be triggered, and there's a knock-up. There's a knock-up happening here. Too Easy for Lexi is trying to continue with that team fight. He's trying to follow up and save his teammates, and he does save his teammates. Team Nightmare goes back.
Now it's a bit of an opposite situation right there. Earlier there was a fight that led to a target getting taken, and just like that, Nightmare Esports give Team Falcons the same exact situation. You can see the Sea Hover rush for Cammy right here, so that's a lot of reduction, right, in the healing, but it's also a lot of max HP damage that can be used to deal with Leo and Hulk. But for now, man, I think Nightmare Esports need to just not go for anything too crazy. The earlier play, man, 2v3 was not required at all. They need to try and get into the jungles right here and go for a 5v5. They have the superior team fight setup.
Yeah, they've already lost a lot of the network superiority they had before. We can see in terms of gold, basically pretty even, these teams, and the most important players, Lotric as well as Cammy, are pretty close in terms of item builds. So no real advantage being built up for the late game on either side right now, and that could be concerning here for Nightmare Esports.
Yeah, in terms of the kills, it is equal. In terms of the gold, it is almost there, but there was almost there. What was that? What was that? What a really nice engagement from you. Oh, Leo is out, double kill, but there's a shutdown. Hulk is trying to get Suso, and he does. Rubiana's in danger, and Team Nightmare might face a whiteout. They might face a whiteout, but Too Easy for Lexi escapes. Team Falcons are soaring beyond their limits.
Now that was a turnaround right there. We thought Nightmare got the best engage they could, but that Nether Realm changed things instantly.
I think it's not exactly just a Nether Realm. The fact is, the Sacred Hammer actually pushed people out of the Nether Realm range. The problem is that the main damage dealer, Cammy on the 1-1, was the first to fall in that engagement. How does it happen, man? Does he not play the 1-1? Is he just overextending too much? They can't keep doing this. Let's take a look at the instant replay brought to you by Kadea. If you look at this, it was looking so good, but without the 1-1 available right here, what can they do, man? They have fighters available, but fighters don't do well against the carry. They're just shredding everybody down right here. They should have all just pulled back the moment the 1-1 gets taken out.
Yeah, the consistent damage was way more available for Team Falcons once Cammy fell. Jasmine.
A death bush, you don't want to get there. You don't want to get there.
Rematch.
Jasmine is now, oh, nice ultimate. Nice ultimate, nice escape, but there is a really good damage. Lotrick is still up to it. Lotrick gets the kill even though he's miles away. And
There, waiting for them. And even though there was so much commit on
of Team Nightmares, and also they also have the Lord. Oh, nice ultimate. Nice ultimate, nice escape, but there is a really good damage. Lotrick is still up to it. Lotrick gets the kill even though he's miles away. And who's also miles away is you, Jubiana. Jubiana also pulled down Leo. Team Falcons got 2 of Team Nightmares, and also they also have the Lord.
The crowd going wild right now for Team Falcons, actually. Every time Nightmare Esports looks for an engage, the Falcons are right there, waiting for them. And even though there was so much commit onto Lotrick to try and pick off the carry, he is online. I'm pretty sure he's got his Trinity by now. The Lord taking a lot of structures.
They should be aware of that crossbow of Tang. It might turn things around.
You gotta be careful here still, of course. But for Nightmare Esports, they're just playing this weird. Like even there in that fight, Jubiana went in absolutely alone. What was the idea here? It seems like they're just fighting spontaneously, and they have no idea what to do once someone runs into contact, right? They have no idea if they should back away or if they should try and commit to the fight. Just like right now, Jasmine taking damage for no reason.
Yeah, he is taking damage for no reason. I don't know actually why or like, what is he aiming for at this moment.
He's just trying to get information. He doesn't really need the brawl with Leo, but it's still okay since Tigreal as a hero is pretty hard to take down. The problem for Nightmare Esports though, they don't really have good split push presence, right? Arlet isn't really the type of hero you send to shove down a lane. And right now their team fighting isn't actually working out for them either, even with all the crowd control. So Team Falcons are in a really good spot to secure this game.
I feel like this composition could have worked without the 1-1 still. I wonder if the idea is to take it away from Lotrick instead. Because honestly, that's the problem right here. He's just a bit too immobile as a 1-1. Usually you see 1-1s dodging from everything, but in this game, he's just getting completely nuked out before anything even happens. So he needs to be a bit more careful, because there's a lot of ways that Nightmare Esports can really bait out the ultimates. Look at this death wish though.
Wow, it's a really calculated positioning by Team Falcons, and here we see that the Black Dragon formation has been triggered by Hulk. Super is also flying, as a wise man said, Kaka! How he do it is really magnificent. How Team Falcons got that team fight. They take away the rumor before the time for a Lord.
The Shadow Stampede pulls this game have been immaculate. Good Knight still living up to his potential as one of the standout players yesterday in the mid lane. Right now, Team Falcons in full control of the game and the map. The Lord is easy for them, no problem at all. Nightmare Esports, what do they have to do?
Nightmare Esports, I think what they had to do was avoid throwing so much in the early game, but now I feel like the best they can do is wait for a mistake.
Ooh,
unless
nice
Team Falcons
steal.
really makes a mistake, I don't think there's a way for Nightmare Esports to come back to this. Their main strength is the fighters, the early game, the crowd control. But now with no real way to bait out the Netherrealm, no real way to split apart the Pharamis from the carry, what are they supposed to do? They have to just sit there and take the damage coming in from the carry, and that's percentage HP damage, dude. And they don't even have blade armors. What is going on here?
But aren't the marksmen equal in gold, almost?
They are almost equal, but Lotrick does seem to be positioning a lot better
He has
than
more health.
Cammy. Yeah, the health helps a lot as well. Nightmare Esports gonna be in a lot of trouble here. Bottom inhibitor is gone. Lord crashing up top.
Yeah, Lord is just getting in there, getting the second choice, second inhibitor choice for Team Falcons. Team Falcons might go in, but
Whoa.
Good Knight didn't want to go in that way with the final slash. The Black Dragon probe is now triggered by Hulk, and Hulk might go. Hulk is here. Hulk arrived. Team Falcons are trying to go in, but Team Nightmare don't want to let that happen. They don't want to let it go. Kami is looking to trigger his own ultimate, but he cannot find any ultimate openings. He will not find it at time, but Kami takes the kill. Double kill for that Leo. Triple kill might be committed. Triple kill is there, and Team Falcons might just finish. They have the marksman, they have the jungler. Now they don't have the jungler, but they do have Good Knight. They might go for that finish. Only too easy for Lexi. Is it too easy for Lotric? It is not so easy for Lotric. They are trying to touch good base. Have a touch base. Is it a base down? Is it a touch base? One more touch. One more touch. One more touch. One more touch. Puts that base down.
With his final breath, Good Knight bids good night to the opposing side and wishes they have nightmares in their dreams. Literally the final hit by those minions. I cannot believe that happened.
Wow, dude. They're so good. You can see him just bolting all the way from the mid lane.
Yeah.
I'm coming in, dude. I'm gonna save the game. And he did. Good night, Nightmare. We'll have to see if they can come back in the next game, but that was a solid showing, dude.
Okay, I want to take pride of something. You both said that crowd control would win, and both of you like the draft of Team Nightmare. Now I'll say the execution. My information, my side, when I said I favor Team Falcon, I am right.
I mean, I got an answer for that. I didn't see a single crossbow of Tang, dude.
Yeah, not a single one, right?
Not a single one. So I feel like if everything goes according to plan, you know, it goes like how it's supposed to go on paper, there's a lot more potential in the roster of Nightmares, but that is just not how it went, right? Their game plan was not solid. They got pushed apart, kind of confused by the pace that was pushed on them by Team Falcon. And in the end, Lotric on that carry, man. I mean, he should be a bit more vulnerable, right? He has no tools like the crossbow of Tang, but he's the one standing in front doing damage. And on the flip side, it's the one that looks kind of useless, to be honest.
It's quite weird the way that these fights were taken, because Lotric was doing a good job. He understood that Nightmare Esports seems to have this tendency of wanting to run at him, so he just has to stand there and pelt them down like a turret. Whereas on the opposite side, Kami could have just waited for his team to set up these crossbows of Tang for him, and yet his positioning always seemed to be really far in front. And that did not help the situation. Nightmare Esports were missing out on a lot of their damage. They had the crowd control, but what happens if you CC the enemy and there's no damage behind them?
It was really actually strange for me to see that you have that ton amount of crowd control and not be able to even pull out one crossbow tank.
Yeah, that felt bad, but let's go over to our MVP of Game 1. And of course, it's gotta be the man himself, right? Good Knight on the Faramis. Literally the deciding factor, flying in after his respawn just to get those final few hits on the crystal and secure the game for his team.
Is that a support boot I spot in his in-game equipment? Well, he's going for a lot of agilities, the Widow's Blessing. He's trying to be all around the map as much as possible. And the fact that he doesn't have to back down because his team has a better quote-unquote all-in team fight means that he can use the Stampede a lot more aggressively. Usually we see it used by Faramis just to actually escape from a fight. But when you don't have to escape, then you're using it to pull back all the short-range fighters that Nightmare Esports have in their, in their composition. So, which begs the question, why did it go so south, man? Because initially, everything was going fine for Nightmare, but then they split apart. I don't know if they felt like they were too strong, right? They couldn't fail, too big to fail almost. But Falcons immediately capitalized, getting pickups on multiple members, and afterwards just making use of that carry to immediately get all the shred damage on the tankier members of Nightmare Esports.
I think I can kind of somewhat explain what happened with Nightmare Esports here, because this is kind of a weakness of their team overall. they have a tendency to prioritize team fighting, and they like making it messy. They have a tendency to actually trade bodies, and a lot of their fighting comes down to just having the numerical advantage, which a lot of time was not achieved because of the way the Falcons were positioning.
I think numerical advantage is one thing, but on the other side, I mean, they keep going for fights like this, where Lotric is even here, in the fight that goes well for them, Lotric isn't exactly prioritized, you know? And in a lot of these fights, you can see that for the most part, no real... Oh, there's a crossbow of tank.
There was one.
But it wasn't high impact at all. And here is a big engage did by Jasmine, but where is Cammy? He gets one shot immediately. This is no team that's winning, that's ahead in gold. How the heck did the gold laner with so much mobility just get nuked down? That is just not, I don't think that's acceptable at this level of play. And afterwards, they keep fighting, but look at Lotric. For the most part, the bulk of the ultimates and the resources aren't used to really shut him down. And in the end, they try to fight going backwards like this, and their composition just isn't built for it. There's no way they can pull it off.
Yeah, it's not the best synergy here coming from Nightmare Esports, and they're gonna need to figure out the more precise ways of how they want to approach the next game, because if we see this kind of gameplay again, I have no doubt that Falcons are the better team just overall. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I think that the one player for me who was outstanding for a reason, I think that it was like a Shinigami for Team Falcon. Leo was just like collecting souls in this game.
That is true. His score at the end, we didn't highlight him very much this game, but 9-2-3 is very impressive.
Look at Goodnight here, though.
Oh my
The hero.
This is like, I'm coming in, boys, watch out. We thought
Oh, it's a last
they
hit.
stopped him.
Yeah, he did.
But that projectile, that final projectile, literally, with his dying breaths, saving the game for his team.
So close yet so far, dude. And looking at the stats afterwards, even the buffs were just taken away from Falcons. Once the Lord was in play, Falcons just used the advantage they had and the fact that they can now predict the movement of Nightmare to really force them into a fight that's a bit more coordinated in the Lord pit. You know, you were talking earlier about their weakness being how they lean into team fights and how messy they like their team fights. I feel like in a messy team fight, it'll be good for them because they'll find Lotric. The thing is, it wasn't messy. They just went on weird people. Like they were jumping on Hulk, they were jumping on Leo. Not exactly who you should be prioritizing, especially knowing that for the most part, their whole composition relies on Lotric just shredding everyone down.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be a big game plan here, even though there's a very obvious target on the side of Team Falcons. So Nightmare Esports has a lot of cleaning up to do if they want to have better chances going into game number 2. But the draft for Team Falcons was really effective against this team here. Having the extra life in the Netherrealm, as well as the way to just go on in and out so easily with Super, is very good to deal with a team that's less experienced at dealing with these kinds of engagements.
If you look at his items as well, for Cammy, he has the Wind of Nature and he's building towards a Rose Gold, I assume. So he has some defensive items, but he just was zoned out so hard. I expected the carry to be in his position, but that's just the exact opposite of what happens right here. Showing again that it's not only about the drafts, dude. It's how you're able to actually execute on your game plan and avoid the big mistakes like what they did earlier. With so much catch, they are the ones who lost their marksman. Can you believe it?
Yeah, do you think it's because coordination was lacking or something? It did feel like there were a lot of fights where Jasmine, for example, jumped in and then the team was either a bit slow to respond, or maybe Cammy just felt too confident that an implosion would set up a crossbow for sure that he just jumps on in.
Well, if that's the case, then they shouldn't be playing the 1-1. That's not how you're supposed to use it, man. But they missed coordination, I think so. There's some big moments there with the final slash, for instance. There was a lot of great final slashes that hit 4 people, but there wasn't really any follow-up. So it doesn't seem coordinated or communicated at least before it even happens. Looking at the cards right here, Lotric, of course, is the rich guy. The carry, though, it's your boy Goodnight, the dancing man.
You definitely don't give enough props to Faramis as a hero for the amount of DPS that he's able to output. We did see his itemization. Goodnight went for full DPS on that hero, but it's still quite insane when you compare it to Lotric, who is just getting the free hit against Nightmare Esports.
It was It's not. It's like offering candy for a kid. You're just like letting Lotrick farm wherever he wants, however he wants, whenever he wants. So Lotrick at this moment was like inevitable for him to deal such amount of damage. And I would like actually to say that Team Falcons at this moment, if things went south for them, because in the early game, if you remember Joviana, he was winning. He was winning his lane. He was winning all the trades. At a certain point, if it weren't for that finish, last like hit finish, Team Falcons for me would have fell down.
I don't quite think so, because again, I think the real advantage is the early game, right? I think even the Valentina, you know, against the Faramis, you just don't have the same kind of flexibility, same kind of mobility as well. So I feel like the longer the game goes, the more Logic just sits there, right? Especially if you can't really set up the crossbow of tank on your own. If you need one big ultimate, a teamfight ultimate to set up for your crossbow of Tang, I don't think he can do it, man. Look at his damage output right here. This was a winning game, at least initially. So compared to his team, yes, he's doing more damage, but only 3k.
Do you think that the problem was there was actually too much setup here? Like having Tigreal, Fredrin, and Arlet may be lacking in terms of like burst damage, especially combined with like later game heroes like the 1-1 and Valentina?
I think they really could have rationed it better. If you want to go for a pick-off or an exchange or initiate, you can use like two, right? Two ultimates and save one. But they were just using all of it up. And then at some point, Logic shows up and he's like, yo, what's up?
That's what I'm saying. Look at his turret damage. He was like taking everything he wanted.
The fact that Lotrick has 100% teamfight participation and is the only one in the game to have 100% teamfight participation on a hero that typically wants to wait is very strange, well, and definitely contributed.
It's 15 minutes, right? It is the late game, by all means. You know, in Mobile Legends, the games go quick, but at 15 minutes, that's the late game. That is where the carry becomes relevant. So it's on curve. You know, the issue is like, why wasn't he kept down even longer, considering how ahead Nightmare was? They had all the pressure in the early game. They did not invade the jungle. They didn't go for proper dives, right? They didn't force the ultimates out and zone Falcon away from their resources. So I just don't understand.
I think Nightmare went into the game with a good idea of focusing onto the EXP lane, because if they're able to win that out instantly and unlock Juviana, it sets up a lot of teamfight potential for the rest of the squad. Unfortunately, they weren't quite able to put down Hulk enough. They did get one kill, but that was after a lot of effort. And after that, I feel like they tunnel visioned a little bit. Like they couldn't quite figure out how to translate into the next step because the first step already didn't go the way they planned. So if that's the case, a lot of adjustment has to be made going into the next game.
It almost felt like they were trying to actually farm up a bit and let the 1-1 farm. And that's not a big deal at all. But after, in the mid game, where the 1-1 who wins the lane due to all the ganks, right? Or at least can have more backup to actually win that lane, I feel like you have to go a bit more aggressive with the 1-1. That's where the power spike really hits, right? In the mid game, especially with a good laning phase if you're not completely shut down. So I feel like their decision making, right? When to go for what could be amended, right? Even when they were going for the engages, who they go in on and who goes in together could also benefit from a bit more communication, I feel like.
Well, going like backstage for both teams, I think that we have seen already a moment yesterday where a team going back to the rooms, coming back a totally different team, which was like Team KBG, if I'm not mistaken. So Nightmare had that opportunity now to discuss whatever was wrong in the formation, whatever was wrong in the macro skills. If there was someone underperforming, they have had the chance to discuss. So this is the time to show the result of that discussion.
Beyond that as well, we have to highlight again the fact that Nightmare Esports does have a coaching staff, whereas Team Falcons does not. And even then, they were able to win out in terms of that draft and execution. Wow. So if Nightmare Esports is able to like figure things out here, able to use the break time, then we can see the value of that coaching staff. Otherwise, it's gonna become a little bit of a discussion here.
For sure. I mean, just because you have coaching staff doesn't make you immediately the better team, right? I mean, that's an assumption, but unfortunately, there's so many factors that we might not even be aware of that dictates which team can do better right here, right now. So I really do think that there's adjustments need to be made from both teams, because even technically for Falcons, it wasn't the most the most dominant performance either, right? They were struggling in the early game, but looking at the audience predictions right here, they are definitely the favorites.
Yeah, it's very overwhelmingly leaning into the Falcons side. Even here on the stage itself, we heard a lot of cheering for Team Falcons when they were executing these big plays. So it does look like the team from MPL MENA has actually quite a large fan base, even outside of their own region.
Well, we are trying. We are trying to have like a better show off on the, or like showcase on the international stages, and so far so good. So Team Falcons are doing really good. Team Falcons are proving that they can bring up something new to the table. Yeah, they are doing like the classical draft, and for me personally, because like I've been like able to cast all their games during the MPL season. For me, there's no surprises whatsoever for Team Falcons. So, well, team or like, would it be a possibility that Team Nightmare didn't study Team Falcon enough? Because for me, there's nothing special.
So basically, the performance of Team Falcons here in the wild card is still pretty much the same as how they performed in MPL MENA.
With the same picks.
Wow, really? That's quite a statement, because if that is the case, then like teams, this is one of the teams that like opposing sides would have a lot of information on, because they have a whole MPL season for them to research and watch. So it does lead to a pretty big question, and we'll find out whether or not Nightmare Esports has the answers necessary as we go on into the drafting phase for game number 2. Adaptations going to be at the forefront of everyone's mind. We'll see what happens.
All right, so the order at least is going to be a bit similar, but I do feel like it's a bit weird here. I think if you can't really use the tools available, like the one for instance, there's no real need to force yourself into that role, because I feel like that is a bit counterproductive. We'll see if they pick it again and prove me wrong this time, right? The Caster Curse is very much alive right now. But for now, it's going to be that Matilda ban, the Valentina ban as well. Seems like they're going to be trying to like take that Faramis away. And for Falcon, they're still going with the Khalid. Still so far, pretty standard.
Yeah, the Khalid is still the same for now. The Faramis was a big problem. It was MVP previously. With the Valentina gone, it definitely does send the message that Nightmare Esports may want to contest it for themselves. Wonder if there's anything else.
Well, speaking of caster curses, I think that we are here in Malaysia. There is like a famous, most like, I'm not gonna say curse the caster, but the caster who, when he is there, the teams of Malaysia lose. We are here like with Lafel. Hopefully, like this SMG takes the ticket. So that what came to my mind when we said like caster curse.
Right.
All he has to do is not say that SMG will win.
So far he's good.
Because usually, like the way we game the caster curse is Lafel will predict the opposite team.
Also, so far he didn't predict, so they are fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what that's why, like, on the, if you didn't know, that's why on the international stage, whenever you see Lafel's predictions, it's for the team that the Malaysian team is facing, so that his curse affects them.
So is that why he's put in the host position right now? They're like, yo, please, we can't deal with another curse.
No, it's because he's such a good translator.
I see. Well, that's very true as well. Well, Nightmare now, though, with the Valentina banned out, they will ban out the Nolan as well. I have to wonder if Falcon is thinking of doing the same thing right here. I mean, with the if they want to get the if they want to deny the Faramis, they can do it right here, and they do. So I think the gold lane becomes the next more contested thing. But on the table is generally the 1-1. So is Nightmare Esports gonna try and get that again?
Well, did Falcon just ban their own Faramis?
Yes.
Because I think they were expecting Nightmare to just pick it up.
I actually kind of thought they might let it through and then grab heroes like the Arlet that will just straight up counter it themselves. But I guess they just want to take it off the table entirely since the Valentina's gone. But in terms of picks available, I do feel like there's still plenty of options. Like the Angela's still open, the Baxia is still open. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the marksman right off the bat, because we saw what happened to Cammy previously because of that.
Yeah, the thing is that what's open are combinations and not single heroes. It's gonna be Cammy on the 1-1 yet again. The first game's performance did not inspire confidence, but maybe now they can find something that works. for Falcon. Now they can get the combo. They go for a Joy though. Will they go for an Angela as well? Or are they going to go for something perhaps in the mid lane? It's going to be the Angela.
TAA.
Well, tactical analyst Arashi. Whenever you need to know a hero pick, you can rely on him. But for now, I think Nightmare should consider like things like the Franco and Kaja, right? With the Joy already showing up. Ooh, okay, they're gonna go for the Guinevere instead. Fulfills a pretty similar role. And the Novaria as well. We already talked about this hero earlier in the day. That vision could be pretty valuable to Nightmare.
Especially against the Joy, someone's going to be hiding in the bushes, right? Waiting for a chance to really take the backline by surprise. I think that's something that Falcon can definitely do. But against the Guinevere pick right here, I think they have to be a bit concerned as well with where exactly is it going. If it goes in the roaming position, it might be a bit difficult for the Angel to match up to that kind of impact. If it's going to the jungle, it's also a fighter against the Joy. So this Guinevere pick is actually multifacetedly good for the side of Nightmare.
Well, look, Joy for Team Falcon especially is flex pick because Joy can be transformed to the XP lane. That was like actually so predictable to me. And like I was saying yesterday, whenever I see an Angela, I can see a Claude or an Irithel, but I'll leave that like the analytical part for you. I want to talk about that Leo or Hulk can play Joy really good, and actually who is better at that team by playing Joy is Hulk, not Leo. So like he added a lot of spices back there in Mina. So it's quite predictable for me for the XP lane after taking the Joy to be the second phase.
Ooh, we do have a fun fact here actually. Perfect migration. 4 games. Guinevere has been picked in the wild card. All 4 have been victories. Could this be a sign for Nightmare Esports? Will they be able to claim another game here, similar to the way they did against Team SMG? Guess we'll find out. For now, Team Falcons are going to start off the second phase of the bans. And what was that? Not too sure yet.
Have to wait and find out once the asset clears up. But man, I feel like the Angela, Joy, and Claude, like you mentioned, Yasu, you can still flex the Joy away to different lanes. And I think Troublemaker was using it in the mid lane as well. So hey, here's a chance there, maybe for Good Night. I don't know if the insider info matches up with that possibility. But for Nightmare, that's the question here. Is it going to be a pick-off style? Because if it is, the Novaria is great, but it's not enough solo to really facilitate a pick-off. Usually the gold laner gets involved as well. With the 1-1, it's not exactly burst damage.
Based on the way that Yasu is excitedly signaling me, he seems to be very confident that this is going to be a good night Joy. Why is that?
Well, because I've seen, like, knowing the players personally, I've seen Leo asking for some tricks from Good Night about Joy. So maybe Good Night is an expert at using Joy.
A secret Joy pick, but you've never seen it in like MPL Mana.
No, I've never seen it.
Will Good Night be feeling a little bit like a troublemaker today, perhaps? I guess we'll find out. But it would be interesting, like, Arash, say if they did put the Joy into the mid lane, what would be the value of it over, say, like the jungle or EXP?
Well, you have kill pressure off the bat. With the mid lane is so short, and you're so squishy as a mage, right? So sometimes when you're trying to contest the lane clear, you walk up a bit, you get hit by burst damage coming in from your lane opponent, and then the jungle can like really quickly execute you, depending on who it is. If it's someone like a Fredrin, for instance, and a Fredrin Joy combo, that's gonna take you out really, really fast. And so that pressure will in turn lead you to have a weaker wave clear. As we take a look at the message here.
Some love. Good night. I love you.
Big fan of Good Night there in the crowd. Always nice to see. It does look like we're going to have some small technical difficulties here. Once again, thank you very much to our Marshall team up on stage, making sure that everything is in order. And this will once again give us some time to discuss how things are going as of right now. With Team Falcons having the momentum, how confident are you that they will be able to clean sweep this?
How confident am I? So, based on the momentum itself or on the draft, on the first phase?
Their momentum.
Well, based on the momentum, we can say that they have just came from a clean sweep and they are starting off really good. The macro skills that they have are definitely improved. than they have been in MENA. So Team Falcons are actually doing something, and actually bringing up that they are better than what they were doing in MENA. I remember that they also played in the MPLI, which gained them some experience just right before they come here.
That is true. Even if their performance wasn't all the best on that stage, it was still experience, you know? It still makes a difference.
Geek fam.
Yes. But that's
Yes.
like, I consider
that was
that
a
an
different
exception.
roster though, yeah.
It was a different roster.
It's a different roster.
I'll give you the fact that they did win out that game, and that experience is going to be valuable, but they still didn't get past the group stage.
Exactly. I mean, they were playing in the Indonesian region for a while, so I guess that experience playing against an Asian region really lends itself, especially in a matchup like this against an Asian team.
And also, I want to add something up. Being there is not only about the group stage itself or like the teams within the tournament. Being there means that there was scrims, there was training, there was trying out some new metas. So that's experience.
True. That is a lot of experience that you're able to gain just from playing games against some of the best teams in the world, in fact. So that could be a big deciding factor, and I'm definitely seeing the impact of that. This is a team that has a certain degree of maturity up on that stage right now, and Nightmare Esports are really on the receiving end of that.
We'll have to see what they can come up with to try and deal with this though. We saw the draft earlier, but again, I can't help but be concerned about the 1-1, because earlier, the real threat maybe is the Yuzong along with the Martis maybe. But in this game, no, there'll be a Joy, right? There'll be a Claude as well. It's not exactly the easiest matchup, or the easiest situation to be in, especially in the later stages of the team fight. So I think they're gonna find some kind of help for the 1-1, because otherwise, I don't see this playing out differently, man.
But Angela with Joy and Angela with Claude, that's a combo. And Joy has been already executed by Leo yesterday, so I think that they are in their comfort zone.
But I will also say, as a Joy player myself, playing against high mobility heroes like the 1-1 can be kind of annoying, because you think that they're very squishy and you'll be able to burst them down, but if you just miss a single dash on that second skill, which might be pretty easy if the 1-1's just jumping around, then you become kind of a sitting duck.
That is true. So that's why there's a bit of skill involved in the Joy, definitely. But we'll have to see, man. Can Falcon make it work? Because I feel like there are ways to really take advantage of this. It's not just the 1-1, the Novaria as well. It is very vulnerable in the back there. And only with a Guinevere, we see the spatial migration used aggressively. Maybe in this game, they can really force that spatial migration to be saved, to be used as a defensive tool instead.
But Arashi, do you think that Kami is trying to test himself, or like to say, no, I can't do this? Maybe it was like a one-time thing that I failed 1-1. Like taking it as a first pick again.
Trying it again? So you're saying, like, is this like him testing himself? Trying it again?
Statement like, oh, I just like, that was a one-time thing.
It was just unlucky.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be very, very unlucky if you're gonna lose in game 1 with that draft, dude. I feel like, unless you're telling me literally everything, right? Literally the luck and the horoscopes and the stars all aligned to make him lose that game, it's really hard not to point at that as a big problem.
Wow.
So we'll see, right? As we said earlier, he might prove us wrong. I'm not sure if I've seen him play the 1-1 before. Maybe a bit more with different carries in the composition. Then maybe the 1-1 will have a bit more space to try and do some damage. That could be one of the main problems that he had in game 1. Him being the main target for all 5 members from the side of Falcons.
Yeah, 1-1 as a hero will play a lot more effectively if the team has setup for him. And in game 1, there was a lot of setup. You had the Tigreal, you had the Arlet, but there's also arguably some difficulty in engaging on that because of the presence of heroes like the Feramis and the Martis who can quite easily threaten that backline. This time we have the Guinevere, which will really lock someone down for a long time. If you can't get a crossbow of Tang off of the Violet Requiem, you're not going to get a crossbow of Tang off of anything. Could that be a game changer?
The what, the crossbow of Tang or the...
Like being able to get the crossbow of Tang off on the Gwyn ult.
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, the crossbow attack is a huge component in the 1-1's damage. It also allows you to be a lot freer. That was the advantage that the 1-1 had over the carry. The fact that you can output damage, but still be immune and safe from all the counters coming in from your opponents. But just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the drafting phase. Thank you so much for your patience. As we take a look, the Arlott and the Yuzong EXP lane targeting in the banning phase, going really fast.
Minotaur as well. Okay, so the Arlott Minotaur makes a lot of sense on Team Falcon's side. They want to dive in, they got the Joy, they got the Claude. They want to make sure Nightmare Esports doesn't have that counter engage. The Yuzong ban though is quite interesting, considering right now the neither EXP lane has really been shown unless we're seeing the flexibility of the heroes right now.
Well, it actually makes sense to me from the side of Team Nightmare, because once they saw that Arlott was making so much trouble, Team Falcons decided to ban it, and it was making trouble to whom? To Yuzong. So they said maybe they want to take that Yuzong, that's why they banned.
Well, no, you're talking about how Falcon, they want to dive in, so they're banning away the Arlott and the Minotaur. Because that's exactly why the Yuzong and the Kufa are banned away. There's our dive tools available, but the Akai comes through right here. So it's going to be a... Well, both Akai and Joy can be flexed out, so Falcon's getting creative right here. But if they want to go for a full dive, the Akai can work. If he spreads everyone away from each other, then the dive could be a bit more linear for the whole team, because it's not really a combo-based kind of dive.
But the heavy spin would negate the issues that Joy might have against a high mobility team comp, right? If you're gonna be worried that you can't hit them because they're dashing away from you, then why not lock him down? It could work here, but I do wonder if there may have been like more viable options overall.
Well, Akai is one of those big, 2 picks already from Team Nightmare.
Whoa! Okay.
Benedetta.
That is interesting, man.
Did we see Benedetta so far?
No.
I think have we not seen it once?
I don't think so. Not yet.
I might be getting mixed up with MPLI, but Benedetta against a Phoveus.
Don't forget the 1-1.
It's not an impossible matchup, but with so many dashes here, it's definitely a good time for the Phoveus if he does not get shut down. That could be something that Nightmare can use, because they have a very strong jungler, man, the Fredrin.
Look how Team Falcons are organized. Mid lane, Phoveus. And you have Hulk, as I told you, on the XP lane with a Joy. And Leo got the Akai.
That's interesting right there. Now, this is not the first time we've seen Phoveus. The previous performance, he did actually win that game. So this hero performs very well in these niche situations where there's a lot of dashing. And we have that from the 1-1 and the Benedetta. Cammy already got caught out very often in game number 1. We'll see whether or not he can change our minds here. Game 2, we turn into the land of Dawn, and looks like there's gonna be a pause once again. Every single time, man. I want to make that dramatic entrance.
Yeah, it seems like the game 2 is not getting into the Land of Dawn, more like getting out of the Land of Dawn for a bit. For us like to take
a pit stop.
Yeah, for a small moment right here. The Phoveus though in the mid lane, it looks weird, but in the past we have seen it played in the mid lane before. So in a way there is a precedent, and when there is a precedent, there are teams that have found a way to deal with it. Although I'm not quite sure if Nightmare Esports have the experience to actually deal with such a niche kind of situation. I don't know if they were still expecting the Phoveus to go in the EXP lane towards the end right there.
The ultra long games combo at your service. You guys are from other regions. You don't know about this, but what happens is whenever Mars or Sif are on a desk, the games are longer, there's more technical pauses, and basically everything that could go wrong does go wrong. And when they're both on a desk, then it actually does double. This is a proven track record, and if we look over to the BM cast right there, whose faces do we see?
Well, we're looking at the best of the best. They're waving at us too, dude. Hello, what's up?
They know what they've done. Is there any sort of like trend? Like, are there like specific caster curses happening in like your respective regions?
Oh yeah, we have the Omwawa. curse.
Oh?
Whenever it's his passive, we call it.
Okay.
Whenever he's just
Passive.
around in the arena, he doesn't even have to be on duty, man. If he's just around as an audience, the games go as long as possible. They're usually very,
Wow.
very long. They last till like 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. actually, 12 at night. And it's happening quite consistently. Along with that, there's the Mirko and OG Curse and Bless, because they respectively have their own moments to go for a full Bless or a full Curse situation.
Interesting. So we are already aware that the Mer curse is there, and it's quite similar to the Lafel curse. I didn't realize you had like a Sif Mars long game curse over in
Yeah, we
ID
do.
as well. How about in Mena?
Well, so far we didn't get the chance to have a cursed caster yet, or like a cursed talent. So far,
Soon.
That's good.
Yeah, nothing.
Soon, bro.
Maybe
For now.
maybe I'll bring something back to Mena.
You bring a Curse,
Is
man.
Yeah.
that the kind of thing you want to bring back to Mena?
I don't think I
But dude-
want to keep that.
I got a question for you, man.
Ask.
Falcons is getting a lot of support, and in fact, Saudi wasn't the area, the region with the highest percentage of supporters for Falcons. Some of the other countries kind of outdid them when it comes to the total percentage. So why is Falcon so popular outside of MENA here? Is it the personality? Is it the fabulous beards coming in from the MENA region?
Wait, what?
We don't have those in
Yeah.
Asia, dude.
That's not-
Asians don't have
Like,
beards.
that's rare.
Okay, so I think that Falcons are getting like a little bit of focus because, as I told you, they have a variety of members. And actually, if you are following up in, you will know that Team Falcons, it is their first season ever as a team. This is the first time we have something called Team Falcons. And when they showed up, they got the rookie of the previous season. They got the 2 times champion Leo as a jungler, and then they got also Lotrick and Goodnight together. And they had this combo, as I told you, there's a synergy, high synergy between Super and Hulk, so they combined an all-star team from MENA.
Well, that could explain the MENA popularity, but in Asia, dude? In America even? What is going on there?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
That is
right?
crazy.
Hopefully the fans can
Crazy.
tell us in the comments of
Yeah,
why exactly
all of y'all are wild. If you,
Team Falcons has so much support.
if you can please tell us what appeals to you so much. I think some other teams can really, look to Falcons as an inspiration, dude, because, popularity is a big deal in esports.
Look, there's something, it's not a quote, it's something that happened and it's common, like in Egypt generally, is that when you see, it's not a quote, look, I'll just say it. When you see a team that is not known playing up against giant teams, which team do you want to win if you are not supporting the giant team
It's
from
the underdog buff.
That's why Team Falcons are getting so much support against the international scene, because they are the underdogs.
Against
But-
Nightmare, though.
I feel like some of these teams would be considered more underdogs than Falcons.
Maybe,
though.
yeah.
Or even now, there's an MPL technically for MENA, right? There is an MPL.
Yeah, man.
So, I don't think there's an MPL for Nightmare. Is there?
There's a
So
cast
who's the real underdog here?
Thank you very much. That is my girlfriend in the crowd right
Whoa!
there. So like I get to see
Mr.
my picture
Dodo.
up on screen, which is nice. Thank you very much to her right there. Hopefully she enjoys the game after this, just like all of you. But I think the more handsome player is actually on screen right now. I know.
Dude, they've been like
Just
putting
look at
Leo
them.
on
you
cam
know?
for a pretty long time.
They know
right
what
there.
the fans want to see.
I want to see the big man Leo.
They want to see.
He's very tall, actually.
They want to see the MENA people with beard.
Exactly.
So they combine
Look
Leo
at that!
and
Look
Hulk.
at this.
The beards are the
That's what I'm telling
highlight.
you. Look at the comparison of facial hair from Falcons compared to Nightmare, dude. It's like a facial hair gap.
Yeah, Leo's taking care of himself.
Definitely.
Where's your facial hair, Yasu?
That's a good question.
From Nightmare to Sweet Dream, it says. Dang.
That's nice. They're
Ooh.
predicting the 2-0. They want the 2-0 right there. Man, definitely having a good amount of supporters overall. Hopefully we do get these difficulty solved pretty soon. The Marshall team is hard at work. Again, we apologize to everyone at home, and thank you very much for still sticking with us here at the M5 World Championship Wild Cards. The game will get going very soon. In the meantime, you guys get to hang out with us for just a little bit longer. Actually, this is a chance. I wanted to ask you earlier, Arashi, about like whether or not the teams you personally predicted going to M5 were still the same, now that we're like halfway through the group stage.
I feel like there were some surprises for sure. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
Yeah, why are
For
you talking
sure.
like that? I was just
That's my pondering voice. I feel like,
You're
technically-
holding back something.
Technically, I thought I was agreeing with the favorites, right? Oh, I think SMG definitely got it. They have experience, which I think is very valuable in a longer, prolonged event. If it's a best of one, for instance, we've seen a lot of teams just, you know, burst out of nowhere, get a victory, get out. But in the best of threes, right, you know, in multiple days of competition, I think the experience will definitely make a difference. But with yesterday's performance, I must admit, I got kind of confused. Like, wow, this is the favorites? What's going on? What's happening? It almost made me feel like there's something extra going on behind the scenes, you know?
Okay, so your predictions before Wildcard started were SMG and...
What was it? I think it was SMG and... I gotta look at the list of the teams, man. I'm getting old.
You've already forgotten your personal predictions from like 2 days ago.
Dude, we've been looking at like 8 different teams every day. DJY with a Mirko High next to Maro, actually. What's up, guys?
Sup? Okay.
But yes, we've been looking at teams the whole time, dude. I'm kind of like blanking out on the rest of the
Okay,
teams.
I'll leave you be for now. How about
Yes, let me
how
let me
about
up the hook,
Yasu?
dude.
Same question. Who did you like? You predicted which teams did you predict again? Going to M5 before the wildcard?
Look, you mean at the round table or like right now? What do
Like
I have before?
No, like before M5.
Before M5. So, I've actually said
Falcons?
SMG
And Falcons?
and Falcons because I believe that they can make something special.
Is it still the same now?
Well, they are going in the right direction so far.
So basically, yes.
Yeah, basically yes.
So SMG can beat Falcon, you think? Hey,
Oh, so
putting me in the
so
hot
you
seat.
you take yourself out like out of the hook and you just like
Yeah, it's like the bait
Take
and
me
switch,
in.
dude. I gotta like put someone in my spot.
He's the only person here with no stakes in that matchup.
oh yeah.
Technically, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to me, I just appreciate a good match of Mobile Legends,
Yeah,
man.
right.
I mean, we
right.
all do.
You know, winning is
Yeah.
just a bonus, right? We're just here for the sportsmanship. Just
I'm here to
kidding, bro.
win.
No way.
I'm here to win, man. Whenever I boot up MLBB, I'm here to win. You know?
So Malaysian of you.
Yeah, it's very...
Competitive, aggressive, Dodo.
Yes. That's the epitome of a Malaysian player, right?
Well,
But let's if you.
I'll actually give you that. I will answer your question.
Oh.
Ooh.
SMG is in their like best performance, right? Like in both teams' best cases, right? SMG will win currently.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think a name that pops up was Lil Gun. Actually, I was quite impressed with how they played.
Oh yeah.
Although I can't help but feel a bit discouraged because there are some moments there where they made just some really risky, borderline questionable plays there. Hey, actually here we have a player comment from Yasbin.
He says, I hope Laos will have MPL, a league, more players, and more teams. Starting from wildcard, we can make a name for Nightmare at Laos and become more famous so that Laos can have its own professional league. I think a lot of teams here want to have the same sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them want to show what they're capable of on the international stage so that they can create hype, create more attention, and create a league for themselves, a scene, an environment where these players can grow and thrive.
Well, there are some teams in the tournament that we have right now, the wild card, who share the same dream or like the same goal that Nightmare wants an MPL for their own region. And I would actually say, after seeing what I've witnessed yesterday, there are some teams, there are some regions, let's like for instance speak about KBG. I'll actually give these guys a season or two, and I believe that they will have a spot in the M5 itself.
One season might be enough, dude, because they just
Yeah.
require a bit more experience, especially after a wake-up call, right? Meeting the other more developed regions, it's definitely going to ignite their competitive passions, and I think it's also a great way for Mobile Legends to spread. You know, getting your someone from the small region into the M5 series, right? Makes anyone in that region go like, whoa, our guys on an international stage, and in turn it will rouse the popularity and interest in the game as well. So I think it's a step in the right direction if we are going to try and fulfill our dream of an international, truly international Mobile Legends tournament.
Well, I have a question for because we're now having discussions, right?
Yes.
The wild card idea itself, I stand fully with it. I believe in second chances. So do you guys think that by offering this second chance, will it add something up to the M5 itself?
Oh yes, definitely. I think it's really incredible that these teams are getting second chances, that developing regions are getting an opportunity in the first place, and the fact that this is a melting pot where these teams are able to interact with one another, learn about strategies they didn't know previously existed, understand and respect the different regions is huge, and there will definitely be an impact on M5 itself, because these teams will be going into the main stage, the ones that qualify as the underdogs for sure. So what happens if they're able to create upsets, That's just so dramatic. That's like such a good storyline.
Exactly, the storyline possibilities, man. Climbing out of the wild card series and then making it to, not even, let's say they don't win, right? Making it to the semifinals. That's already such a great story that we can highlight.
Not just from the lower bracket, like from the lower bracket.
Yeah, from the lower squared bracket.
Right.
The wild card series right here. And I'm enjoying the fact that in some way, right, now that the stakes aren't immediately as high, and some teams might be underestimating the other teams because it's the lower bracket. But that's why we're seeing a lot of experimentation going on. And I think that's valuable, man. We're seeing real good potential coming in from a lot of these heroes that haven't been picked in a long time, like years even.
Yeah, it's a big plus point. And honestly, if the M5 teams watch the wildcard and realize, this hero could be quite effective in this situation, and we get to see more unique picks on the main stage, that's already more than enough.
Well, I really love, look, I'm now having a quick look at the stage itself. I'm having a quick look at everything that's happening. I'm looking also at the casters at the BM desk, and they are just on a couch, not on their chairs anymore. They are having fun looking at the stage, and right now they're just chit-chatting and doing the same thing as we guys are doing. And also I would like to address the viewers right now is that the technical problem, it did take a little bit of time, but that's to assure that both teams have the best experience possible, and also to make sure that the experience of the game itself for you as a viewer, for you as a fan, for you as, let's say, a lover for the Mobile Legends Bang Bang scene to be fair and to be exciting and to be equal between both teams. And so far, our marshals are doing their best, and so far, the players will also promise you that they will do their best.
That's the other real big thing about the wildcard series, man. It gives us as casters, another feel to try and do something, right? To try and experiment, try and get you back at home the best experience. And we get to meet each other, dude. Because you have no idea, as a caster, the international events working live, right, with your international co-workers. That is such a beneficial and fun experience. And I think it's so good.
Well, here I am, halfway around the world.
Exactly.
With you.
That's your first time as well, right? How often have you been out of your country?
I've just been to Emirates and Saudi Arabia for both, MPL MENA and both MPL MENA. So this is my first time ever speaking, even being in a country that's not in MENA.
Wait, hang on.
Whoa.
So your whole international experience out of Egypt is all
MENA.
From Mobile Legends.
Yes.
That is crazy, dude.
That's actually insane.
That's a dub from Mobile Legends, man. What a story. They should make a video, a podcast highlighting you, dude.
Maybe.
There's value in that storyline.
Yasu, the documentary.
The hope of
Yasu,
MENA.
the man from MENA.
The man.
The man from the man,
The man bracket A.
the man, because otherwise it would just be mana.
What's your experience so far, man? How do you feel that? How different is our, this experience compared to MPL MENA? Are you seeing a lot of differences? Do you feel like it's a more polished format, for instance?
Well, look, at first I want to point out that it is a terrifying experiment.
Oh, absolutely. I can relate, dude.
Because this is my first time dealing fully in English in daily basis, and also and casting professionally, because right here we are on an international stage, and also I'm representing the MENA, and it's like a lot of first times to do a lot of things. It's my first time meeting you guys, my first time casting in English in a tri-cast, my first time seeing a lot of new stuff. But to be honest, I'm not just saying that because now we are on the stream, or like because I have you guys. You have been so supportive since day one. You have been so friendly since day one, and everything just went smooth. All thanks from me goes to you, actually. And yeah, you've been like, you haven't been anything but generous in giving me information and in giving me experience and heading me towards the right direction. Whether I was like doing any part at the cast, whether I was like the one who was shouting and doing the team fights, even the analytical parts. It's like, literally, I've learned so much from this international experience, and also Malaysia itself was a very welcoming country.
I'm glad to hear that.
I agree, man. Malaysia has been good to us.
Really?
Nasi lemak is delicious.
Man, nasi lemak is the best.
Y'all got that.
The food is great. You guys got to try out definitely a lot more stuff while you guys have the chance to. But let's show some love in the comments for Yasu. It's his first time like being outside. I can't imagine how terrifying it is, because like last year was my first time doing an international event, and it was local.
Oh, really?
It was still in Malaysia. So I can't imagine coming to a different region, doing your first international event in a different language entirely. Like, that just seems like such a huge challenge.
A different format as well, by the way, because fun fact, in MENA, they do not do a three-man cast.
Yeah.
This is Yasu's first exposure to it, so, dude, like, full credit to you. This is a very difficult situation.
I just hope that people bear up with me, like they don't get like, yeah, this guy is not doing great, but I'm really,
Dude,
I'm
be
trying
okay,
my
man.
best.
Dude, our
I'm really
community-
trying my best.
I believe in our community.
You guys will behave, right, in the comments. I'm looking at you right now.
But dude,
I got my eye on you.
But Dodo, man, for me, myself, this is actually my first time participating in an international event and getting flown out. Because I was part of M4, but that was in Indonesia.
Uh-huh.
And I missed out on SPS due to personal reasons, scheduling conflicts. But I didn't get to come here for SPS either. So this is actually my first time flown
look
out
at
of the
that.
country myself.
I've never even been flown out. So I'm still waiting for that first
Soon,
chance.
brother.
Maybe one day, But yeah, glad you guys are having a good time here in Malaysia. The BM cast is actually waving at us now.
And this is the cast of podcast.
It's
right
actually
here.
a podcast.
Yeah. It's a fun podcast, though.
I mean, that's always the goal, right? On a podcast, like, you don't hold a podcast to have it be a not fun podcast.
Well, hopefully it's fun. I mean,
Obviously, the goal was not to have a podcast here today, but when life gives you lemons, you hold a podcast.
you plant a tree.
Yeah.
You plant the tree.
No, you hold
lemon
the
tree.
podcast. No, it is correct. You hold the podcast.
Yeah. You talk about lemons.
Yes, indeed. It's like logical. When life gives you lemons, you have to to have a podcast.
Do you guys
About
like
lemons.
Do you
Yeah,
like
it makes
lemons?
sense.
Do you guys like lemons?
I mean, iced lemon tea is good.
Yeah, but like lemons on their own is a bit too sour for me.
I mean, you're not supposed to eat them on their own, though, are you?
Well,
I have a friend who does.
What's wrong with
And
you?
he's just like, oh, it's healthy. I'm like, I guess, but why? To
Does
find
it-
out why, maybe we can get some more info.
It
Dodo man.
doesn't, it doesn't sound healthy to me. I feel like you're. Anyway, let's just throw it over to the stage. Our podcast is done. Let's let the hosts have a moment on screen, because they got an interview up on stage.
Energy here in Geospace is electric. Right now, it's 1-0 Nightmare Esports versus the Falcons. And while the players are getting ready, how about let's talk to some of the fans? I'm gonna pick some fans, random fans in here. I see, oh, okay, come on over here. Come on over here, actually, you three, oh, Maro, you're here. Come on over. while the players are getting ready to play the game, how about let's talk to these people and maybe we'll play a little bit of a game as well. Hi guys. Hello. Okay, you guys, you stay there. How are you doing? You're here every day. You're here every day. So I see that you're here with some people. Who are your friends? Who are your friends?
This is DJY, the
DJY?
content creator.
I've heard about you. Tell us what you make content about.
I make content about MPLs and including M5 wildcard as well.
Including M5 Wildcard. What kind of content about M5 Wildcard?
Some clips and also some RL content interview in the future.
Okay, how about let's give us a sample for the people in the other regions who haven't seen your content. Introduce yourselves and pretend that I'm watching your channel right now. All right? Okay? DGY in 3, 2, 1, go. Introduce yourself.
For the international fans, so basically I clip actually a lot of MPL videos like MPL Indonesia, MPL Malaysia, MPL Philippines, and outside a lot of regions as well. So
Sample. Oh, see, you have friends in here. Okay, give us a sample of what you're doing.
Okay, like example for MPLPH, right? There's a lot of strong teams like AP Brand and Blacklist International.
Huh?
So basically, I clip a lot of their gameplays and make a lot of their highlights to, you know, get more exposure for the tournaments and stuff. And yeah,
Is there a chance that you'd want to be a caster?
maybe.
Maybe. Okay, we're gonna pretend that you're a caster and then we're gonna pass it over to him, okay? So the crowd will know him. All right, DJY, go.
Okay, so I ask him questions. All
Pretend
right.
this is a game right now and then you pass it over to him.
Okay, now we can see that Blacklist International is locking onto the base. And looks like Echo is trying his best to defend the base, but it's not happening.
Except it's the Falcons and it's Nightmare Esports. Go ahead. What is your name?
My name is Howek. It's HOWECT.
Now we know how to find you on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it that you do? I know you make some content as well. You guys are friends, right?
Well, we just only met yesterday.
You met yesterday.
Well, I'm not really a content creator. I'm just a random Mobile Legends player.
You're just a player. Okay,
Yeah.
what role do you play?
I usually play gold lane.
You usually play gold lane. What role do you play again?
Rome.
Rome, gold, Rome. What are you?
Jungler.
Jungler. Okay, I'm a roamer, Rafa. Okay, so we just need one more. Now, okay, how about who do you think? Okay, you're a content creator, so you know everything about MLBB, and you play really well. What rank?
What rank?
Yeah, what rank?
Well, right now I'm in Legend, but my highest rank is in just low mythic.
Okay, legend. All right, let's see which of you knows your hero really well. Mara, the reason why I pulled you, I just thought about this game literally this second. You're gonna be the judge to say if they're saying it right, okay? Now, we're gonna go through the heroes A to Z, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. Once you say A, he has to say a hero that starts with B, and so on and so forth, okay? You can only have a 5-second pause. Otherwise, you will lose. And everybody in the comment section, you can play along. Put down the heroes in case they miss it. All right, we're gonna start off with the letter A. And I feel that you should go first. Okay, a hero that starts with letter A. Judge, be attentive. Hero that starts with letter A.
Alert.
Alles.
Bauman.
Bowman.
Help. No, not Helker.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chang'e.
Oh, okay. He just made it right on time. Chang'e. 5.
Help me, guys. Help me, guys.
D. 5.
Dairoth.
E.
E.
4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, I'm sorry. Time is up. How about let's have another contender. We'll give a chance to a contender. Do you want to say a message to anybody that's watching right now?
Yeah. Hey, international fans. I mean, not really. I didn't really come up, but for all here watching, I just hope that you guys will be doing so well for MLBB. Yeah.
You did so well. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. You know, it's not easy to have a mic and to talk on camera. You did so well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Okay, now you can go back to your seat. We need a contender. We need a contender who thinks, okay, come on over here. Come on over. Where are you from?
From Egypt.
You're from Egypt.
Yes.
Oh, so you're Yasu's friend.
Yeah.
You're Yasu's friend. Okay. What is your name?
Rames.
Rames.
I'm actually the sub player for Falcons Esports.
Oh, shoot. He's the sub player. Okay. Now, you gotta do good on this one, all right? We're gonna start off again, so you know how the game goes. We're gonna do heroes, okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna start off again, okay? With A this time, we'll start with you. How confident do you feel right now?
100%.
100%. He feels like he's 100%. What's your
Do.
role, by the way? What's your role?
I'm mid laner.
You're mid laner, but you know all the heroes for sure?
Yeah.
Well,
100%.
let's put a spell on him. You're gonna forget the heroes, okay? All right, we're gonna start off with A. Go ahead.
Aldous.
Almond.
Bauman.
Camilla.
Dyroth.
Esmeralda.
F.
Franco. Franco. Franco.
Franco.
Okay, wait, don't.
Oh my god.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him the answer. Franco. G. You have to say G or you're GG right now. G.
Granger.
Granger.
So it's
G.
an H, yeah?
Well, E, F, G, H. There's a flag now.
Hilda.
Yeah, okay, fine. Hilda.
Yeah, okay.
I.
Ixa.
J.
J.
There's no hero, it's J.
J, yes. J, vroom. J, vroom.
Johnson.
Ja.
Yeah, right.
K.
Lan-
K. J, K.
Kadida.
K, Kadida.
Yeah.
L.
Leomord.
Leomord. M.
Oh, Mates.
Don't coach. You're the judge. Maro, you're the judge. M. N.
Nathan.
Nathan. N. O. Is there an O? Oh, yeah. The dance of the swan is so
Odette.
graceful and charming.
Odette.
Odette. P.
Yeah. Paquito.
Paquito. P. Q. You think of the next letter, okay? Q. Is there a Q?
I don't think there's a Q,
Is
guys.
there a Q? Is there a Q? There's no Q. There's no Q. Okay, you're the judge. You help me. Q. There's no Q. Q. R.
Roger.
Roger. Okay, R. S.
Silvana.
Silvana. Now, okay, S. T.
Tigro.
Tigro. U.
Uranus. Yeah.
V. The flying head.
Oh, Walia.
Oh, okay. U, V, W. W. You say the next letter. W. W.
Okay, 1-1.
1-1. My
Yeah.
darts fight. U, W, X.
Expo.
Y.
Yuzong.
Yuzong.
Yeah.
Z.
Zilong.
I don't know how I'm gonna determine the winner. Thank you so much. By the way, Mauro, you are supposed to be the judge, not the coach.
No, I mean,
You want him to win.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, from the same region. Okay. Now, your team right now is up there. Everybody from Egypt is watching, the MENA region. What would you like to say to everybody online, especially those who are looking forward to seeing your teams?
Thank you for supporting us, and please continue. I hope we put out a honorable performance, and keep supporting us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Final message to everybody.
Thank you everyone for coming here to the M5 Wildcard, and then keep supporting your favorite teams, and also shout out to Miracle in the stream.
Whoa! Shout out to Mirko. And Mara, thank you so much. We have lots of fun games happening here at Geospace Live, so be sure to always tune in and always remember to dare to be great and be better than great. See you guys in a bit.
Hit me like I might kick over, but you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback, ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You could keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor. Nah, 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 I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. Into this game, yeah. I build a power to dominate fate. Championship mind, no time for the weak. We start to the game, shall reveal. Better than great, that's how we feel. I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I know, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. We are better than great. We send our woman away. Lay our burden and it gon' change. Great. We are better than great. If we stand tall and believe we can make it, you and me, with a sense of urgency, you'll see I'm better than great. I'm better than great. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm better than. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We send our woman away. Lay our burden and it gon' change. Great. We are better than great. Hit me like I might kick over, but you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback, ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You could keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor. Nah, 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 I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms, 'cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na, and you know I hold the power. This feeling I know, oh yeah. Making my grind good to great, so don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We send our woman away. Lay our burden and it gon' change. Great. We are better than great. Can't get it great, I'm like I might get over, but you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback, ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier.